doing well. Thank you so much for joining me here today, where we are going to discover what I am reading in August. And if you have been with me in the past, you will know that in April and August I take part in a Readathon. And it's the same one I've participated in for the past few years, so I am going to change up the way that I select my books this month. If you're missing the color wheel, don't worry, we'll be back with the color wheel in September. For this month, for the Readathon, I have a list of prompts that I need to use to select my books. And I have to pause here for a moment just to say that taking part in this Readathon is one of my favorite things to do. So I am very excited. For the Readathon, I create a character. My character is Grisaria, and for the career path that she is following, she needs to take 6 classes. Reading a book equates to one of those classes. So the 6 prompts I need to follow are a book from my end of the year TBR, a bookseller or librarian's recommendation, a book with clothing included on the cover. It can be just a piece of clothing, it can be clothing on someone. A horror book, a book with water on the cover or water in the title. I'm also participating in a challenge where there are 6 things that need to be accomplished by the book that you read. It can be one book that does all 6 of those things. It can be a combination of books that I can use to make sure I have all 6 of those elements fulfilled. First, I'm going to fulfill the prompts for my classes, and then we will take a look at the challenge. For the books for my challenge, I'm going to use a combination of young adult books and adult books. So I am going to get started looking right now. I found some young adult books. Let me go find some adult books. And now I've got some adult books. Let's take them prompt by prompt and book by book. So a book from my end of the year TBR, so a book I want to read by the end of the year that was also on my to be read list from last year, is The Sign of the Four by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and it is one of the Sherlock Holmes books. The next book, a bookseller or librarian's recommendation. What I did was I took a combination of librarian recommendation and bookseller recommendation. I went with The Island by Natasha Preston. Next is a book with clothing included on the cover. I'm going with All the Dead Lie Down by Kiri McCauley. And then a horror book. So for this, I'm not exactly sure which book I'm going to read. I could do Salem's Lot by Stephen King, but it's a long book. So if I'm running out of time, I'm going to read Carrie instead. And I need a book with water on the cover. I'm going with The Last Sister by Kendra Elliott. And then a book set in the future. I'm going with Illuminae, the first of the Illuminae Files books. I'm very excited about this. I've wanted to read it for a while. It's by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. So those are the books for my prompts. So now, books from the challenge. I am also going to go over to the adult fiction for the books from the challenge because I've got a lot of YA books. I'll be right back. Okay, I think I have found a couple of books that will fulfill all of the elements that I need to do this. So for the conditions where I need to have read from the author before, the book needs to be between 400 and 450 pages. One letter appears at least twice in the title, and I am going to start reading it at night. We're going to go with The Invisible Life of Addie Larue. 444 pages. Yes, I have read this before, but it has been a few years and I really want to read it again. Very excited about that. For the conditions, where one letter appears twice, It was released this year or last year. There's blue on the cover. Start reading it at night. Read from the author before. Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. Okay, so it's quite a hefty reading list already. 8 books so far. There will also be a couple quests that I will probably be taking place in, but I don't want to overdo it and overwhelm you with information right now. So we're going to stop here. It's a lot of books, and so I am not going to do a video for each of these books. I'll do a video for The Island by Natasha Preston. I will do a video for All the Dead Lie Down. It's one of our newer books that we got in. I will do a video for Illuminae because it's such a cool book. It's not just your regular book. I like to say that it's interactive. So you've got transcripts with redacted information, black and white pages where it's reversed. There's transcripts. There's all kinds of stuff. Very excited to see how this is. I know it's not a very new book, but I still want to do a video on that because I think it'll be really interesting. And I'll also post videos for 2 of the adult books. We're going to go with The Invisible Life of Addie Larue and Alone with You in the Ether. Addie Larue, because it's just really such a cool book, and Alone with You in the Ether is a newer book. It's from earlier this year or the end of last year. It's an interesting take on a love story, so I really like it, and they meet in the Art Institute of Chicago, so what could be wrong with a book like that? So I'm not going to say which book I will do the video for first. I'm going to try to read them kind of at the same time, like when you're taking classes, so I'll be reading multiple books at once. It will just depend on which book I finish first, and that will be the first video that I do. Also, because there are 5 books, it will be more than 1 book per week, so I'll kind of space them out differently than I have been. Because I have given you a lot of information and I don't want to do too many videos, at the end of the month or the beginning of September, I'll post a video that just goes through my whole readathon experience if you are interested in that. So, I will leave you now. Thank you for joining me today to find out what I am reading in August. It was kind of a different format for the video today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I will be back soon. Thank you again for joining me today, and I hope that you enjoy all that you do and all that you read. And thank you.